Good evening and welcome to our weekly journal. I'm Basil Qasim reporting from An-Najah National University in Naples, Palestine. And these are the headlines. President Abbas meets with King Salman of Saudi Arabia. Palestinians to mark Arafat death anniversary with events and rallies. And Mahmoud Darwish to have a statue in Bucharest. Palestinians buried on Friday Mohammed Musa, 26, from Deir Ballout near Salfit in the north of the West Bank, who was shot dead on Tuesday by Israelis at the entrance to the illegal Halami settlement northwest of Ramallah. Musa was on his way with his sister Latifa, 33, to Ramallah driving a car with Israeli license plates when an Israeli army patrol at the entrance to the village of Nabi Saleh near Ramallah waved to him to stop and shot him dead. President Mahmoud Abbas met on Tuesday in Riyadh with King Salman bin Abdulaziz of Saudi Arabia, where they discussed the latest political developments related to the Palestinian issue, particularly efforts by US President Donald Trump to revive the peace process. Mr. Abbas also reviewed with the Saudi king the latest developments concerning the intra-Palestinian reconciliation file and current efforts to achieve national unity to end the division. During the meeting, both leaders discussed ways to enhance Palestinian-Saudi relations. Mr. Abbas thanked Saudi Arabia for its support of the Palestinian cause. President Mahmoud Abbas cabled his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump on Tuesday, affirming his strong rejection of all heinous acts that go against all values, customs, laws and ethics, and sending his condolences for the victims killed in the church attack in Texas. He expressed his sincere condolences to the U.S. President, his family, friendly people and the families of the victims, wishing mercy for the souls of the victims, speedy recovery for the wounded, prosperity, security and peace for him, his people and his country. President Mahmoud Abbas arrived on Sunday in Sharm el-Sheikh city in Egypt for a two-day visit, during which he will participate in the World Youth Forum 2017. Mr. Abbas met his Egyptian counterpart Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on the sideline of the forum to discuss the latest developments on Palestinian national reconciliation, especially in light of the strenuous efforts exerted by the Egyptian leadership to achieve national reconciliation in Palestine. Palestine Liberation Organization Executive Committee member Hanan Ashrawi briefed on Tuesday the head of the Division for the Bilateral and EU Relations on the Middle East at the German Foreign Office, Udo Volz, and a delegation of German journalists on the latest political developments in Palestine and the region. The meeting focused on the latest developments in Palestine, including steps of reconciliation and domestic realities on the ground. The discussion also raised various regional issues and their impact on the Palestinian question. Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza Strip are marking the 13th anniversary for the death of iconic Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. However, the main anniversary commemoration activity is held in Gaza the day Arafat died 13 years ago at a Paris hospital, where he was rushed following deterioration on his health after being under Israeli military siege at his Ramallah headquarters for months. The Gaza rally, made possible after the recent reconciliation between Fatah and Hamas, is going to be held at the Saraya grounds. Israeli occupation forces last night arrested at least 5 Palestinians during raids they carried out in the districts of Hebron and Nablus, while a 6th Palestinian was arrested by Israeli soldiers at a checkpoint near Jenin on Sunday afternoon. Israeli army arrested 3 Palestinians from Balata refugee camp near Nablus in the West Bank and 2 others from Hebron district. Later in the day, Israeli soldiers arrested a Palestinian young man at a checkpoint they set up at Jenin Tulkarim Road. The soldiers claimed that the young man had a knife on his position. Israeli settlers broke into Al-Aqsa Mosque compound on Sunday under heavy protection from Israeli police. Groups of extremist settlers broke into the Muslim holy site through Bab al-Magharbi gate and went on provocative tours in the vicinity of the mosque to perform Talmudic rituals as Israeli police provided protection for them. In October 2015, tension ran high across the West Bank, including Jerusalem, against the backdrop of Israel's repeated assaults on the mosque, including attempts to enforce a unilateral temporal division of the Islamic holy site between Muslims and Jews. Students and their families on Tuesday held a sit-in at Zahwat al-Quds school in the East Jerusalem neighborhood of Beit Hanina to protest the day before. Israeli police raided the school and detained its principal and 3 teachers before ordering the school shut down 2 months into the school year. The students were told to look for another school to attend. Students, parents and activists participated in the sit-in called for to condemn the raid, the detention of the faculty members and the Israeli municipality's decision to shut it down.
Israeli soldiers invaded on Monday a Palestinian school in Beit Hanina neighborhood north of occupied Jerusalem, abducted the principal along with 3 female teachers and shut down the school. The Union of Parents Committees in East Jerusalem schools said many soldiers invaded Zahwat al-Quds school in Beit Hanina, causing anxiety attacks among many children, and abducted the principal Muna al-Qarawi and 2 teachers before taking the 3 women into an interrogation center. The school later announced receiving an order issued by the city council, shutting the school down and informing the families that they needed to transfer their children to other schools. The school and the Union of Parents Committee called for a protest on Tuesday morning in the school to condemn the invasion into the educational facility and the abduction of the principal and the teachers. Ayman Maani, NBC.
Several Palestinians, some elderly, on Tuesday suffered from tear gas inhalation fired indiscriminately by Israeli soldiers at residents' homes in the Hebron area town of Beit Ummar. Israeli occupation forces stormed an area of Beit Ummar close to the illegal settlement of Karmit Sur and began firing rubber-coated steel bullets and tear gas canisters toward homes for no apparent reason. A number of people suffocated due to tear gas inhalation, one a 65-year-old man and other elderly people who required treatment. According to local sources, Israeli settlers on Tuesday stole a 400-meter water pipe used by Palestinians in the village of Ain Sukut to the east of Tubas. Mu'taz Bisharat, who monitors settlement activities in the area, said that settlers stole the water pipe that was recently installed by the Palestinian Agricultural Relief for irrigation of crops. The village is located in Area C of the West Bank, which is under full Israeli military control and where the Palestinian government has no jurisdiction. In Gaza this time, Israeli Navy on Sunday fired a shell at Palestinian fishing boats in Al-Waha coastal area to the northwest of Gaza. Fishermen who were present at the scene said they were forced to leave the site in fear of getting shot. No injuries were reported. However, meanwhile, Israeli bulldozers razed an agricultural land adjacent to the Gaza-Israel border fence east of Al-Qarara near Khan Yunis city in southern Gaza Strip. The Palestinian embassy announced on Sunday the Romanian capital Bucharest will soon have a statue of the late Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish. Palestine's ambassador to Romania Fuad Kokali held a meeting with the Daniel Tudareki, the mayor of District 1 in Bucharest, where the Palestinian ambassador asked the mayor to approve the building of a statue for Darwish in his town. Tudareki welcomed the ambassador's request and added that he will be proud to have the statue of the late Palestinian poet. Mahmoud Darwish was a Palestinian poet and author regarded as a Palestinian national poet. He won numerous awards for his work. Now we have Amjad Isa here with us and his updates from An-Najah National University.
Thank you, Basil. An-Najah National University Construction and Transportation Research Center has recently received a grant from the Stevens Initiative to use online collaborative learning to increase cross-cultural understanding and equip young people with the skills needed to thrive in a 21st century economy. The Stevens Initiative is an international effort to build career and global competence skills for young people in the United States and the Middle East and North Africa by growing and enhancing the field of virtual exchange, online international and collaborative learning. An-Najah National University received 13 new grants funded through this international competition. Acting President of An-Najah, Professor Maher Al-Nachi said, An-Najah National University believes that the Green Future Exchange project is an important step towards utilizing technology to connect our students with their peers across the globe. helping them develop international cultural awareness, so imperative to success in today's society. On Wednesday, November the 1st, and under the patronage of His Excellency the Prime Minister Professor Ramil Hamdallah, An-Najah National University organized the 13th Annual Jerusalem Day Conference titled The Status of Jerusalem in Current Palestinian Context at Zafir al-Masri Auditorium in the Old Campus. The conference started with a solidarity pause in support of Jerusalem in protest against the Balfour Declaration in presence of a number of prominent Palestinian figures. The conference themes included the political scene in Jerusalem, Jerusalem the media, Jerusalem from a cultural and literary perspective, the educational scene in Jerusalem and its architecture. In the opening speech, Professor An-Najah, acting president of An-Najah, welcomed the attendees and praised the people of Jerusalem for their brave resistance against the Israeli occupation. Last week, and on behalf of Professor An-Najah, acting president of An-Najah, Dr. Wasim Bishawi, head of French language department, participated in the conference rectors in the Middle East, Conferno. The conference was over 3 days and took place at the Arts, Sciences and Technology University, AUL, in Beirut, Lebanon. The conference aimed at reinforcing free debates in universities' administrations in the Middle East and discussing the strategic plans for the Conferno conference. It also aimed at encouraging entrepreneurship business at the universities to reduce the unemployment rate among the alumni. On Thursday, November the 2nd, a delegation from RWTH Aachen University in Germany visited the Department of Nursery and Midwifery at An-Najah and the Najah National University Hospital. The meeting aimed at discussing possible means of mutual cooperation between An-Najah and Aachen University regarding students' exchange. The delegation was received by Dr. Khalil Isa, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Dr. Aida Qaisi, Head of the Nursing and Midwifery Department, and a number of the faculty staff members. The delegation also visited the Najah National University Hospital and met with Professor Salim Haji Yahya, CEO of An-Najah Hospital, Dr. Yasser Abu Yusuf, and Public Relations Department. The delegation discussed with Professor Haji Yahya the possibility of developing joint student exchange programs. Mr. Ala Abu Dhair, coordinator of the International Youth Exchange Program ZAGIL of the Public Relations Department at An-Najah, has recently participated in the International Civil Service Commission training meetings that were held in Spain and France for 10 days. The workshops aimed to reinforce the cooperation among members and partners of Commission in the Middle East, Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. It included workshops on international voluntary work and ways to develop it, as well as an evaluation of the voluntary campus, which were organized by the members and partners of the Commission. The workshops discussed the progress made on each partner's program and their future plans for the partner's role in serving the community. The participants also discussed the challenges that encountered them while expanding their work. Then they discussed ways to improve the programs and the increased number of the international participants in the campus. And back to you, Basil.
Thank you, Amjad. Now we move to Lina Ismail with her news from around the world.
Thank you, Basil. According to the latest statement on the global climate, it's likely we've just lived through another one of the hottest years on record. In fact, it looks like 2017 is going to be the warmest year without an El Nino we've ever experienced, with a plethora of extreme weather events across the globe to round out the fun. As 2017 rapidly draws to a close, a provisional statement from the World Meteorological Organization has been released today at the latest United Nations Climate Change Summit, COP23, in Bonn, Germany. According to the statement, from January to September this year, the average global temperatures were approximately 1.1 Celsius degree above the pre-industrial era, putting us uncomfortably close to the famous Paris Agreement goal of 1.5 Celsius degree. Waymo, formerly known as Google's self-driving car, is launching a fully autonomous Uber-like ride-hailing service with no human driver behind the wheel, after testing the vehicles on public roads in Arizona. Waymo, which is owned by Google parent Alphabet, said members of the public will begin riding in its fleet of modified Fiat Chrysler Pacifica minivans outfitted with self-driving technology in the next few months. Passengers will initially be accompanied in the back seat by a Waymo employee, but will eventually travel alone in the robotic car. The service will first be available to those who are already part of the company's public trial already underway in Phoenix. Rides will be free to start with, but Waymo expects to begin charging for journeys at some point. Astronomers have announced they've discovered a ring of cold cosmic dust surrounding the closer star to our solar system, the giant red dwarf Proxima Centauri. This finding means that the star, which is also home to the nearest Earth-like planet discovered just last year, hosts what could be a more elaborate planetary system than we previously thought. Using data from the ALMA Observatory in Chile, a team of researchers has detected the faint glow of what appears to be a belt of dust surrounding Proxima Centauri, several hundred million kilometers out from the star. Saudi Arabia's Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, a member of the country's royal family and an investor in Fox and Apple and other media companies, was arrested Saturday in connection with a sweeping anti-corruption initiative, according to CNBC. Bin Talal regularly appears on the cable news network offering investment advice. According to the report, Saudi Arabian King Salman also removed several other prominent officials. Saudi-based outlet Al Arabiya and the Wall Street Journal were the first to report Bin Talal was among those detained. Bin Talal also has invested in U.S. corporate entity Citigroup, 21st Century Fox, and Twitter, among others. The gnomes are back, this time with a mystery to investigate. Paramount Pictures released the official trailer for its upcoming animated sequel, Sherlock Gnomes, on Tuesday. In the film, Romeo, voiced by James McAvoy, and Julia, voiced by Emily Blunt, move to a new garden where they discover new adventures, new humans, and new garden gnomes. Everything goes well until Romeo and Juliet notice the disappearance of gnomes in the garden. They enlist Sherlock Gnomes, voiced by Johnny Depp, to help investigate the unexplainable disappearance alongside his trusty sidekick Watson. The Romeo and Juliet sequel, directed by Joan Stevenson, is set to hit theaters March 23, 2018. The all-star voice cast also includes returning voice cast Michael Caine, Maggie Smith, Stephen Merchant, and Ozzy Osbourne, along with Mary Blige. And back to you, Basil.
Thank you, Lena, and thank you, dear viewers, for being with us, and goodbye.